everyone. Thanks so much for joining me. Welcome to all of my replay viewers. Welcome to everyone who's coming on now. Thanks for joining me. Glad you guys are showing up. I'm going to turn my camera around now so I can actually talk with you guys. Hello. I have no idea if this is going to be the right placement for my camera today. My tripod broke, the thing that holds my camera. So I've kind of been having to play around the last couple of days getting the angles right and everything. So we're going to try this today. Today I wanted to talk with you guys about asking for help. This is such a problem for people, right? Isn't it hard to ask for help? I think that this is a big struggle for me, so I am not saying anything to you that I haven't had to work on for myself, and recognize and understand why I struggle to ask for help, because I absolutely do and have, and I have tried to get a lot better about this in the recent years, but I constantly see people who don't ask for help. They definitely need help, but they can't ask for it, or they choose not to ask for it, or whatever the case. And I think that this is kind of a source of pride for a lot of people. I think that might be one of the biggest reasons why people choose not to ask for help. They think that they are supposed to be able to do it all by themselves. Or they think that nobody else can help them, nobody else has the answers, maybe nobody else can do it as good as they can. There's all kinds of reasons why we choose not to ask for help. Whether it's just that we have a lot of pride and feel like we shouldn't have to get others to help us. Maybe we feel embarrassed by the problem that we're having. I mean, that definitely happens for me sometimes. I feel embarrassed sometimes about problems that I'm experiencing, and feel like I can't really go to somebody about the issues because I'm making myself very vulnerable to them. And that is another reason why we don't ask for help, because we're letting other people know, okay, we're vulnerable right now. We don't have everything all figured out. We're not perfect. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why we choose not to get the help that we need. Now, raise your hand if you are more than willing to help others in need, right? I am like the first person on the scene when somebody needs help. What do I think when someone needs help? Do I think, well, what a pathetic case they are, I guess I'll help them? No, I'm like, oh my gosh, this person's hurting, they have a need, and here I am in a position where I can actually help them. I don't look at them in a pity sort of way. I don't look at them as any less of a person. I don't think shame on them for not being able to do this on their own. I want to be generous to them. I want to give to them. And let's see, Julie says, seek the wisdom of Titus 2 women because they have gone through almost the same thing, of the Titus 2 woman. So finding other people who've gone through what you have gone through can be very helpful if you're looking for someone to talk with. But you know, when I want to help somebody, I have good intentions. I don't have bad thoughts about them. I'm not judging them and saying, well, shame on them for not being able to get this done on their own. Why can't they do it on their own? The rest of us do. If someone comes to me with a problem and asks for my help, I am going to be more than willing to help them. In fact, because I know people don't ask for help, I actually try to find ways to help other people because I know this is a problem for me. And so I try really hard to offer to others, can I help you with this very specific thing? And I have found that if you go to somebody and say, I've got something specific I want to do for you, it helps them. It kind of gives them that permission to say yes. So if somebody I know needs some childcare, I can go to them and say, can I watch your kid tomorrow? You know, and that's a little bit better than me saying, hey, anytime you want me to watch your kid, bring them on over. And I found that if somebody says that to me, I'm likely not going to take them up on the offer. But if they called me on the phone and said, hey, can I have your son this week? Would Thursday work? I'm going to be a lot more likely to accept that. And so, you know, just thinking about how I view other people who need help, I have to imagine that people feel the same way about me. Instead of saying, oh, well, Keely, she can't get her things done, and what's wrong with her? She needs help with that? I can't believe she needs help with that. And I'm not saying no one judges, because I think that sometimes they do. But I think in general, if you go to someone and ask for help in a time of need, very often you're going to get the help you need. And maybe the person has no earthly clue how to help you. But just sharing your problems with someone else can be very helpful to you. Just kind of being a sounding board. Sometimes we just need to get the problems out. Just speak the words. Say, this is what I'm having a problem with. Maybe get somebody else's opinion. Maybe they don't even have a solution to your problem. You just need someone to listen. On a more practical level, when you need help doing things, find people to help you. I think sometimes we don't ask others to help us do things that we think are our responsibility. So I think a lot of times we don't maybe ask our kids to do enough chores because we think, well, this is my house and my responsibility, so I'm not going to make the kids do it all. And I don't think you should make your kids do it all, but I do think that kids are entirely capable of doing a lot more than what's asked of them a lot of times. And my kids actually contribute a lot to my house now. It's made a huge difference in my stress levels about the way the house looks and getting everything done. And they all can help out with dishes and laundry and vacuuming and keeping stuff off the floor. Now, does that mean I never clean? No, that's not what it means. I still clean, but I'm not responsible for everything. So kind of asking my kids and expecting that out of them. I mean, obviously I'm their parent, so they need to be of help to me. I have taken a lot of stress off myself because I've asked my children to be more involved. And for a long time, I really struggled to ask my husband to help me with anything. And he knows this about me, so he's really kind of stepped in and said, I'm going to take this off of you, or I am going to do this for you, because he knows I'm stubborn in that way. Because he's done that, it's made it more easy for me to ask his help when I need it. So if I am really struggling with something, I'm much more willing to ask his help for it. And I'm just really encouraging you guys today that whatever's going on in your life, ask for help. If you are like this big ball of stress, ask for help. And yes, and Julie says that mommies need to teach children to be family helpers. And that's true. You do need to teach your kids to be family helpers. Sometimes you need to go outside of your family, though, because it's possible that your kids can't help you with something, or maybe your husband is really stressed about something or has too much on him and he can't help. But whatever it is, go to someone who can help you. Now, am I saying that someone will always help you? That's not always going to be the case. I've gone to people and asked for help and received no help. That has happened to me on many occasions. But that means I have to go find someone else. And so it can be very hard to put yourself in a vulnerable position and ask multiple people to help you with something. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't try. And not only with the practical things, not only with, well, I need someone to help me with the dishes, or I need someone to help come over. And so when our shelves fell in our closet last year, we had someone at church come over. They helped us rebuild the shelves. We couldn't have done that on our own. We thanked them, and we actually paid them a little bit in addition to buying the stuff, because we had enough money at the time to pay them. But the person actually came over and wasn't going to charge us. They just knew we needed the help and they could offer it. And it was really great to see someone willing to come help us do this thing that we literally could not do. So what if we had just not asked that person? I don't have any clue how we would have gotten the shelves rebuilt and how we could have hung our clothes. It was a big old mess, believe me. Big giant mess. So you have to go outside of your comfort zone sometimes and ask others to help you. In addition to asking people to help you do those chores or those tasks or, fixing things, you also should go to other people and ask for help when you're dealing with something emotional. And I think we stay so guarded with our emotions and the way we feel about things. So if you are having a problem in your marriage, or you're having a problem in your life, or with your kids, or with your spouse, or whatever, you need to go to someone else and share with them the problem. talk to them, open up to them. I know it's hard. I know it's vulnerable. I know that you feel like, well, they are going to judge me, or they're going to give me a lot of advice that I'm not going to take. Maybe I'm not going to like what they have to say. There's so many reasons why we hold it in. There was a period of time in my life where I was going through some of the most difficult times in my life and in my marriage, and I felt like I couldn't go to the people that lived near me because of the circumstances, and that was really rough and really tough. And if I had it to do over again, maybe I would have made different decisions. But I didn't want to let those around us know what was going on. And there were some very real reasons why we chose not to share that with the people that we went to church with or that was in our town. But that doesn't mean that we didn't share our issues with anyone. We had friends and family that we were still talking to about it, about what was going on. And it was hard, and we did have some support during that period of time, but we should have been more willing to say more, to be more open. And I mean, it's a live and learn type of thing. You have to just do life and live and learn from those mistakes. If you are going through a lot of problems in your relationships or in your home or in your marriage, don't feel like you can't share that. Now, I constantly tell people, don't do your marriage in a bubble. Don't raise your kids in a bubble either. Don't think, well, I don't need to tell anybody else in the world what's going on in my family. I don't need to invite anybody else into what's happening. That is a very good way to destroy your marriage and your family. When it's just us four and no more, or however big your family is, it is a problem. You need to have other friends. You need to have other influences, not just you and your husband battling it out all day, working on problems together all day, because you need some outside influences. You need other people who are going to be able to share with you, okay, this is what you need to do, okay? It's very hard to be successful in marriage if it's just the two of you. It's very hard to raise your kids successfully if you never reach outside for help, asking for advice and opinions from others that you trust, sharing your problems with other people, asking for prayer, asking for something that is practical, whether it's getting a sitter or bringing someone in to help you clean your house a little bit. Don't feel like you're not doing enough because you have had to ask for help. And again, this is kind of like that source of pride that we deal with. And if you are a woman viewer looking at this today, I think, I can't speak for men here. I'm a woman and a lot of my friends are women. But what I see women do is I see it just like backpack it all on our shoulders. And it's like, I'm going to do this. I've got the strength and I'm going to do it. And I don't need no help and I don't need anybody to, take anything off of me. I can do it all. This is my badge of honor. Don't take that from me. And what we're really doing is we're destroying ourselves. We are making ourselves unhealthy to a point where we cannot give anymore because we're not allowing anybody to take anything from us. We've got this control issue. No one's allowed to take care of my kids. What if they say something I don't like or teach them something I didn't want them to know? I don't want anyone to come clean my house because if they do, oh my goodness, what if they put the dishes in the wrong place or fold my laundry wrong or, whatever. We want to, put it all on ourselves. And then if we give anything to anybody, it's like, well, I'm weak. I'm weak because I couldn't raise all my kids by myself. I couldn't do it all by myself. I couldn't do my house all by myself or whatever. And guys, I just want to remind everyone that in our culture here in America, it wasn't that long ago that people had servants. They had servants for a reason. Because there was just too much to do in a day. They had to pay hired help to come in and help wash their laundry and help take care of their kids and help, cook their food and stuff. And I know that was more rich people that could afford those things. But they gave each other help. We were a much more community-based culture. where people after servants, we didn't really do much in that way with hired help. Communities got together and they helped take care of each other's children. They helped take care of each other's yards and lawn stuff. I mean, neighbors did so much more for one another. Even when I was growing up, I mean, my neighbors on either side did things for us. They were a support for us. I don't have that where I live now. I don't have my neighbors coming over and helping at all. My kids aren't hanging out at their house for hours a day. I don't really have any neighbors. Like, most of the houses next to me are empty. That's just kind of how it is where I live right now. But we have to think about, the culture has shifted where it's like everyone should do everything for themselves, where there used to be a much more community-minded culture that we lived in. People were not above asking for help. In fact, to a degree, they may not have even had to ask for help because they had such good relationships with the people around them that they could see that they needed help. And so it wouldn't have been unusual for someone to drop food by your house or drop, maybe dinner or ask for your kids or help you in some way with something that they see. So I suggest for you guys today to, one, really find people you can be in good relationship with. I struggle with this too. Most of my deepest relationships are with people who don't live in the same town as I do, but I still have those relationships, so I can call on those people when I'm in emotional distress. More practical level, I have a couple of people around here that will help me out if I need childcare or if I need something else. So, and I rely on them some. And it's right, it takes a community to raise a family. And we've just gotten away from that mindset. We are not, I don't know, I think there was a shift in mindset that I'm not going to get involved. For I heard that a lot growing up from people, I'm not getting involved. That's not my business. That's them. They need to handle their own stuff. I don't want to be saddled with that, or I don't want to be responsible for their problems. But I am encouraging people to break away from that because we are destroying ourselves in our families. We are stressing ourselves out. We are not having good relationships with each other, with our kids. You know why? Because we just don't even have time. We're all so very busy doing everything for ourselves that it might even seem as though we can't give help to others. But if we all pitched in, if we all helped, if we built that sense of community with other people, then we would get more done. So I am encouraging you guys today that if you need help, ask for it. For goodness sake, ask for help. Whatever it is that you need the help with, ask for it. Whether it's asking for a listening ear, asking for someone to watch your kids, asking your kids to be, do more in the house, asking your spouse to help you out with something, ask for the help you need. Don't saddle yourself with it. You're not going to get a bigger prize in the end because you never asked for help from anybody. All you're doing is destroying yourself. So swallow your pride, get rid of your, thoughts that people are going to think of you poorly, and go out there and get the help you need. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll be around. I'm not sure what my scope schedule will be like tomorrow because I'm going to go work at a food, called a bread basket type of thing, like a food soup kitchen type of thing. So I'm going to be there all morning, and I'm not real sure if I'll get on for scope tomorrow. But if anything else, I'll be back on Friday. You guys have a great day. If you want to see what I've been blogging about, go to lovehopeadventure.com, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon.